Antiques Roadshow guests' unshakable calm over Bonkers walking sticks leaves expert Amuse. The Antiques Roadshow is no stranger to surprising valuations, but few guests react with such nonchalance as the man who discovered his bizarre 19th century walking sticks were worth a small fortune. While many would gasp, cheer, or even faint upon hearing their heirlooms valued at £800, this guest merely chuckled, as if the revelation was nothing more than an amusing afterthought. Ronnie Archer Morgan, the show's esteemed antiques expert, couldn't hide his fascination with the peculiar pair of sticks, which doubled as self-defense weapons. "They're absolutely bonkers," he repeated, grinning as he turned them over in his hands. And that's exactly what they were made for: bonking people on the head. The sticks, carved with exaggerated human faces complete with glass eyes, were equal parts whimsical and unsettling, a perfect example of British folk art at its most eccentric. A darkly humorous history. The guest, who had inherited the sticks from his family, admitted he hadn't given them much thought, except for the fact that they terrified his grandson. "He won't stay in the same room as them," the owner confessed, prompting laughter from the audience. Archer Morgan, ever the storyteller, couldn't resist adding to the macabre humor. Gesturing to a missing chunk of wood on one of the sticks, he quipped, "I reckon that piece is still embedded in someone's skull somewhere." The sticks, dating back to around 1850, possibly earlier, were crafted from fruitwood, likely pear, and bore the hallmarks of Welsh craftsmanship. Their dual purpose as walking aids and weapons spoke to a time when travel could be perilous, and a sturdy stick was as much for protection as it was for support. "They're his and hers," Archer Morgan noted, pointing out the subtle differences between the two carvings. "This one's a she and that one's a he." The unimpressed owner, when asked if he truly appreciated the sticks, the guest shrugged. To a certain extent, he admitted, seemingly more amused by his grandson's fear than by the antiques themselves. His indifference only deepened when Archer Morgan delivered the valuation, £400 each or £800 for the pair. Rather than expressing shock or excitement, the man simply laughed and said, "Well, that's better than being under the bed, isn't it?" His reaction, or lack thereof, left both the expert and the audience in stitches. While most people would be thrilled to learn they owned a piece of history worth hundreds of pounds, this guest treated the news with the same mild interest one might reserve for discovering an old umbrella in the attic. Why folk art fascinates and terrifies. Folk art like these walking sticks occupies a unique space in the antiques world. Unlike fine art, which follows established conventions, folk art is raw, unfiltered, and often deeply personal. You can never be exactly sure with pieces like these. Archer Morgan mused. They're not signed, they're not dated, but they're full of character. The exaggerated faces on the sticks, grotesque yet humorous, were likely intended to intimidate potential attackers. In an era before police patrols and streetlights, a menacing walking stick might have been the difference between a safe journey and a robbery. The fact that these sticks survived nearly 2 centuries is a testament to their durability, and perhaps to the fear they inspired in anyone who crossed their owner. A legacy of eccentricity. The guest's family had held onto the sticks for nearly a century, though it's unclear whether they were treasured heirlooms or simply oddities that no one had the heart to throw away. Their current owner's indifference suggests the latter, yet their appearance on Antiques Roadshow ensures their story won't be forgotten. As for the grandson's terror, Archer Morgan sympathized. "If you're not used to them, I can see why they'd be frightening," he said. "After all, there's something undeniably eerie about objects that seem to stare back at you, especially when they were designed to double as weapons." The market for the macabre. While £800 may not be a life-changing sum, the stick's value lies in their rarity and their bizarre charm. Collectors of folk art and militaria would likely pay a premium for such unusual pieces. Their dual functionality, part walking aid, part weapon, makes them particularly intriguing to historians. Had they been in pristine condition, their value might have been even higher. The damaged section, which Archer Morgan joked was embedded in someone's skull, only added to their mystique. In the world of antiques, imperfections often come with stories, and stories, as any appraiser knows, can be just as valuable as the objects themselves. A reaction, or lack thereof, for the ages, In the end, the guests' blasé response was almost as memorable as the sticks themselves.